Typically, finding a place to stay in an RPG is simple. You usually find an inn and just stay there, pay a little money. But whatever happens in the RPGs when it comes to the people within the world itself, and that's kind of the joke within RPG Real Estate, a new series that is airing in the spring 2021 anime season. It's sort of like the Is the Order Rabbit cast suddenly got thrown into an RPG and is now selling real estate, is really what it kind of feels like. But this is my thoughts on the first 2 episodes, so let's jump right into it. RPG Real Estate takes place in a world of fantasy where the Demon Lord has been defeated several years before. And it's thanks to this that now everybody's living in peace. They even show that, everybody's living side by side peacefully. All the remnants of the Demon Lord itself has been kind of taken away. They show that the Demon Lord's castle itself is now basically a theme park. And so people can actually live there and everything. But all of our focus centers in on Kotone. And Kotone is now moving into this new town, and she's going to be a part of this real estate company that is actually within there that, again, sells homes to people. And after Kotone arrives there, she goes to the actual real estate place. She quickly kind of greets them as that she's looking for a home, and they look for a home for her. So she goes to different places, all kind of hoping she can get some lavish place, but with her actual money, she can't really get much. She actually ends up having to settle with this big, huge apartment that's for demi-humans. But yes, following this whole thing, she actually introduced herself to the rest of the real estate people that, oh yeah, I'm working here. I'm the new employee that'll be working alongside y'all. And what kind of follows this is that she's kind of getting introduced into the craft of finding people homes within this area. And of course, being in an RPG setting, a more fantasy setting, it's a lot of tropes surrounding the concept of living in a fantasy world with, yes, demi-humans and humans side by side. The quirks that a demi-human would have that need to be fulfilled with a home, or a past adventurer that now needs to have a peaceful home away from everybody else. It's sort of kind of finding what works for somebody and finding that perfect place just for them. That is kind of the joke of the whole thing. And yes, all the misconceptions that each of these characters can have based on what the client is and what they're looking for. And they play into the typical tropes, like if you're in this one public area, you have to be okay with adventurers coming into your home and scavenging for items because, yes, in old JRPGs, that's kind of a thing. The idea of having housing within dungeons themselves and all the traps that are in there, it's just playing into a lot of those little JRPG jokes that you would typically find. And yes, as you can guess from the artwork that's popping up on the screen, all this is kind of presented with a cast of very cute characters. I would kind of put this in the range of something like a cute girl's doing cute things with a little bit of ecchi. These characters are a little bit older. They're just kind of fresh out of schooling and whatever. They're just getting into business. And yes, a lot of shenanigans happen around ecchi and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of mentioned at the very beginning, it's similar to something like Is the Order Rabbit, just because I guess technically one character looks like she was ripped straight out of the show, but it's kind of a mixture of a descendant of warriors who's a fighter. You have Fa, who is a demi-human that can speak to the demi-humans, and nobody else can really speak their language. Rufuria, she's a reject priest. He kind of wanted to get into the royalty and be an advisor for the royalty itself, but that obviously failed. And then, yes, Kotone, who is a wizard who wanted to be an adventurer, but then decided, I don't really want to do this anymore. I want to have a normal government job kind of thing. So yeah, getting into my thoughts on RPG Real Estate, I kind of honestly am in the middle ground with this particular series. I'm not really finding it doing anything spectacular at all, but at the same time, it's not terrible at the same time. I honestly do like that it has sort of Is the Order Rabbit type of feel to it, this kind of small shop with 4 cute girls that are just kind of working their job. But I will admit that we're talking about a lot of tropes here within the whole RPG realm that have been done quite a bit, and I don't necessarily see this series doing it in any way that's more entertaining or in a more unique way. But thankfully, what kind of keeps it together decently well is the fact that I kind of like the chemistry that we have with the characters here. Kotone is very much so green. She doesn't really know much about what they're getting into. Rufuria kind of has that sense that she's very selfish. She's always doing things for her own gain. I mean, she'll even... It kind of indicates this idea on a regular basis that she's willing to ditch the rest of her crew if she could possibly get in with like the royalties. Makira is more in the realm of kind of duty bound. She seems like the most reliable out of all the cast, but at the same time seems to get left behind quite a bit. She has these desire just to cook food for everybody. She wanted an actual oven put into the location just so that she can cook stuff. And Fa is just a goofball. She's just kind of the yes, technically reliable, even though she's very childish in nature. But she's obviously they're into anybody that's a demi-human because she's the only one that can speak to them. So like I said, it technically has a solid cast of chemistry here, having the selfish, having the reliable, having the goofball. It all kind of works together to kind of play out some really fun scenarios. But at the same time, like I said, those scenarios are just RPG tropes that, yes, technically we've kind of gone through quite a bit with a lot of, especially isekais, game isekais, those types of things, that all seem to have fun with those. So it's kind of just a natural different take on that, just doing it with cute girls, with a sprinkle of ecchi in there. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not that it's over the top, constantly ecchi in your face, it's just it maybe have 1 or 2 shots per episode where it's going, oh, here's something. Now, the unfortunate thing, and I've kind of mentioned this several times before, is that whenever it comes to cute girls doing cute things, one of the things that I kind of hope that every studio does when they address this is make it look good. I think one of the prime things you need is to have cute girls that look cute doing cute things, not just cute girls that are sometimes cute. And unfortunately for this series, Dogokobo, I don't know, this must be their B team. That's all I can assume. Like, this is the team that did rom-com where a childhood friend won't lose. That team, the one that just isn't Dogokobo's main team. Like, this is not the team that's doing Shikimori is not just a cutie. Like, that one looks gorgeous. This one has issues, and it's unfortunate that it's more of a problem than I thought it would be. Like, I've seen the screenshots coming out of this show really quickly saying Rakira is literally seems like she's a ripoff of a character from Is the Order of Rabbit, but there was a joke in the post was that, oh, this is the budget version of her because her eyes are like, it looks like they're trying to run away from her nose. It's that kind of, ugh. And I almost want to think it was a character design thing. Like, this is the character designs. They like to have eyes that are way more stretched out from the nose than normal, but it has shots where it looks good. And then it has shots where, yes, the eyeballs are running from the nose. And I don't know, like, is there in-betweens being done somewhere else besides inside of Dogokobo? I don't know. But it looks so off. When one shot, I'm like, oh, here's the character. Wait, who's that? Oh, here's the characters again. Oh, wait, who's that? It has that issue going for it, where the eyeballs can't figure out if they want to be normal or away from the nose. And yeah, I think the only reason that I'm bringing it up is because it's supposed to be a cute girls doing cute things, and if you don't pull off one of those things, you have issues. But with all that said, I do think this is a cute show. I wasn't bored watching the show itself. Like I said, I just kind of have an issue with just seeing the RPG tropes again, and I haven't really seen this show do anything so far that's trying to do something unique. Now, if we can get into that stuff with maybe a 4th or 5th episode, maybe it starts picking up into something. The OP looks like it's indicating that they might get into something that's more serious with maybe Fa or something like that. But as it stands now, it's just cute girls doing real estate. So if that's something you're looking for, definitely check out the series. Just take note that it does have a little bit of ecchi in there, a little bit of underwear here and there, but other than that, it's just kind of a normal cutesy show. But if any of that sounds interesting, definitely check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button down below, comment, let me know about the series if you're going to be checking out, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video if you can, support us on Patreon, I'll throw our tips link in the description below. We definitely appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.